So next is about business fundamentals, and I have to tell you, when you're in the midst of a fairly complicated crisis, you're dying for somebody to come in with some brilliant ideas and or quick fixes or ways to kind of straighten the place out. And I had an experience that was written about once, but looking for funding for the company, I called Warren Buffett, and he invited me out to Omaha, and I had dinner with him, and I was explaining, how I was trying to unpeel this crisis and what had created this crisis in terms of the complexity of the business. At the time, I was acting CFO and CEO, and he said to me, here's the deal. You ought to be able to look at your revenues and identify your expenses and costs and pretty much subtract them, and that's the money you should be making. When it's not that simple, you got a problem. And I have to tell you, I took it to heart, and we simplified our business. We undid all the complexity, all the engineering, so that there was this incredible logic about revenues and cost and expense and profits that we hadn't seen in a long time in our business. So, but a lot of it's about fundamentals of the business, strengthening fundamentals, discipline and controls. We're a big Lean Six Sigma company, and it's all about just having the discipline to constantly be focused on productivity improvement. It's like managing cash, managing inventory, managing receivables. We really went back to basics, and I think it made it refreshingly clear for the people who were turning the business around. The next is using good times to change, and I think that's the tougher part. When you're in good times, the need for companies, technology companies certainly especially, to keep moving, to be adaptable, to keep changing, to keep, quite frankly, understanding that the competitive forces, the price curves, all the things that happen in our business require a constant state of, rethinking, restructuring, reinventing, and not waiting until that crisis. And that truly is when you have the luxury of time to actually do it in a way that's thoughtful and a little bit easier on the people as well. The next area is something that's kind of counterintuitive, but I kind of call it following your instincts. In many ways, I watch a lot of companies, Xerox having been one of them during the quality era, to get so burdened down with kind of consensus-making decision and fact-based kind of quality movements, and that at the end of the day, there's a little bit of an abdication of management responsibility to use your experience to make decisions, because sometimes instincts do play. And I remember when I first took over, we had matrixed the company. We managed by industry, we managed by product, we managed by geography. We had like a 5-dimensional matrix in terms of how the company was managed. And each step of it was logical, I think, authored by consultants that we spent a lot of money on over the years. And I looked at it, and I couldn't find anybody who really felt accountable for anything in the company. And these debates about matrixed organizations go on all the time. And I think it's far less important the choice you make than making a choice for clear accountability. So we made a choice. Geographies are our P&L centers. That's it. We have global product divisions. We do lots of things on a global basis. We have global processes. But at the end of the day, when I want to know what's happening in Europe, I call the guy that manages Europe, not the industry guy sitting someplace else or the product guy in Rochester, New York. I call the guy sitting there with the people on the ground. That's where the accountability is. It's not perfect, but it's clear. And I have to tell you, it enabled us to move quickly and efficiently to kind of fix the issues with clear accountability.